what does a PR professional do? A lot of people mix like marketing and communications and PR together, right? But they're kind of different. From what I've learned, PR is more like strategy, right? But from your the jobs that you've been in PR, like what are some of the job duties and kind of the interesting things that you had to deal with?
I think it's a little bit of a disservice to people who are in marketing to say that like PR is strategy and marketing's not, because it's all strategic. But I guess I would say maybe marketing the main priority would be like converting sales, whereas in PR the priority might be more persuasion. Which are two complementary but slightly different things. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to be an intermediary between a company or an organization, your client, and the media, which is like what we think of traditional PR. But you're also doing writing for that company. You could be writing white papers, putting out research for that company. You're doing anything that you can basically to communicate with the outside world on behalf of that company or organization, that will help to lift its reputation.
What are some of the more interesting stories, like kind of the crises that you've dealt with that you could share with us?
From like a leak of sensitive information that the company becomes aware of and needs to contain and needs to be responsible about.
Yeah.
To it could be a reporter asking really tough questions about a company's record or the way it's doing business, and you need to be able to give advice on how the company can respond to a media inquiry like that. That essentially tries as best as you can to safeguard the company's ability to continue to do what it does.
Yeah, because in the business world, there's a lot of, I guess under the table or behind the scenes like wars, right? I guess your enemy is always trying to tarnish your reputation, and then so you kind of go back and forth on.
Yeah, and I would say that in my experience, the business world is a lot more civil and respectful of each other than maybe it's portrayed to be. Okay. Like if you, it's a very slippery slope, because if you talk badly about your competitor, the gloves can come off, and they'll do the same back, basically. Yeah. And so there needs to be civility in this. PR gets a bad name from like very high profile points or companies that have not paid attention to these sort of unwritten rules of how you should behave and how you should consult your clients to behave. Yeah. And so more often than not, it's best to be above board. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.